Hey everyone, hopefully you're doing well. I'm going to talk about EvolveAi. I've been using this program for about 2 years now for general fitness and health. By no means am I a bodybuilder or powerlifter or anything like that, but I just love the program. I've been using it for 2 years and I think I'm well educated to talk about it. They have been releasing some new updates, and the updates that they're doing are really, really nice. They're quality of life and they give you a lot more flexibility. So in the video today, I'm going to show you the differences for them and kind of just go from there. And my subscription does come up in February and I'm going to renew for another year. If you do renew for the year, it is about $10 a month, which I think is well worth it. I'm by no means paid by them. I'm just a user and I use it, and I really do like the overall app and just the ease of use. But first, we're going to talk about the update that they did really quick about 2 to 3 months ago, where they give a little bit more flexibility within the framework. I'm going to put them up on the screen here. So the first update they did was just enable you to add or subtract sets to your particular workout. This wasn't there before, but it's a much needed addition. So then you could just take sets off if the volume's getting up too much. Not going to go into too much of that one. Then they made 2 big changes to powerlifting and power building. So they essentially, when you went through and picked what style you wanted to do, before it was just what they wanted you to do, but the last update they did expanded that and branched it out. So with powerlifting, you now can enable the app where you could choose what you want to do. So you could do a traditional split, you could do a lift specific, or you can do SBD. This is really important because a lot of people have different preferences and they want to look at certain things and they want to focus on it. So before it was just nothing, now at least you have some options. And then on the power building side, they added 2 options. So it's a full body day or a upper lower split. With power building, do not think that it is a upper lower split like bodybuilding. It is not. It is just how it structures the SBD. If you look at the descriptions, which I will put in the text area, I will break out what they are, and they're also up on the screen here, but I know the text could probably be a little bit harder to read. So those are the 2 updates they did before. So now let's talk about the updates that they did yesterday, which I'm really, really excited about. So in the top section here, you got your main lifts, and then you got your accessories. Remember, in power building, if you choose power building on the survey, you do not have any control over your accessories because it asks you if you want to be more power building focused or do you want to be more bodybuilding focused, and then it controls the accessories that way when it does the program for you. So for this, accessories are not going to be talked about, but we will in the next section. So the next section down, which is your main lifts, your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. So within each one of these sections, you can customize how you want it to actually act, and if you want to give Evolve the control, or you want to have more control or less control. The methodology is a little bit different as well, but for this particular example, to make the video a little shorter, I know it's going to be a longer video, we're just going to talk about squat. So in this particular scenario, based on the days a week I picked, it says I have 6 sets of squats. I'm going to scroll down, and then you can see here that there's the days a week. If you click off the days a week, it moves the sets around or not. And this, from what I know, is going to go into effect on your next block. But for this particular thing, we're just going to keep it as I chose 6 days a week I want to work out. This is just the split, and this is just where it moves them around. But for now, we're going to really focus on the bottom portion here. Intensity used to be something that you would have to pick and change in another section, but it is here now, which is really nice. So if you want to change the intensity for any one of those blocks, squat, bench, or deadlift, you can do it within this section super quick. Click it, boom, changes the intensity. If you were to go back out, it does show and does do the changes for the program. The next section here is one that they really have updated a lot. This one is where you get the flexibility and, like I said earlier, more control. So typically this is where it starts at, is full AI, which is full EvolveAi is going to just basically do what you want, do what it wants. You don't have any control here, so you can't click into volume or periodization or rep style. And then you can't even click into, you can click into this powerlifting focus, which will change your accessories, the focus on them. But if you want to coach me from here, it just opens up one other section. So it opens up the volume, and then you could set the volume how you want. Do you want to do the volume at 3 sets, maximum 10, for example? Let's just save both of those. Oops, I meant to say 10. 10, yeah, there we go. Yep, there might be a little bit of bug because it's on the beta. However, I'm going to come out of there. It does change it. It will change it on the program. But if we want to do full manual, it opens up every single option that you want here. So just remember, we are under squat. You could do this completely different for bench, and you could do this completely different for deadlift. You could do them separately for your SBD, which is really, really awesome. So full manual, you could change the volume right here. And then you could also change what type of periodization you want. Do you want alternating? And then last but not least, you could change your rep style. So that is power building in a nutshell on how it looks, the flexibility you have. And now we're going to look at powerlifting because there's even more changes and flexibility that you can get, which I personally love this a lot. So in order to change it from power building to powerlifting, you have to go into your settings and redo the survey. I'm assuming at some point there's just going to be a little toggle or something like that. However, I do have it up on the screen here. So this is powerlifting. It's a little bit different than power building. I'll show you the big differences, but the main one is accessories and then also how the full manual control goes. So from top to bottom, again, you got the hypertrophy, strength, and peaking. And then within each one of those, you could change what your squat looks like, what your bench looks like, and what your deadlift looks like. So it could be different based on the cycle that you're going through and what you actually want it to do. So deadlift hypothetically can be completely different between hypertrophy, strength, and peaking. You could actually you could have one deadlift a week versus 5 deadlifts a week, depending on what you want to do based on the frequency. The top section here, the next section is the main lift, and then we have the accessories. So as you can see here on the screen, the accessories does come up now. So remember power building? I'll put the screenshot up there for power building. There was this red text that says, hey, you cannot make any changes with power building for your accessories. It's at the bottom, but honestly, this is a lot better because there's a lot more flexibility if you want to add accessories or take accessories off, etc. It's just a little bit better. We're going to get to that in a second though. So the main lifts, exactly the same. So you got squat, bench, deadlift. So I'm going to click on the days a week here. And then if you take some of them off of there, remember it's for the next block that we'll change it for. It's not the current block that you're in, but this is a good visual to see, hey, if I just take, so currently right now, if I have it set at 6 days, this is what my bench reps are gonna look like. This is what the sets are gonna look like, and this is how it lays out based on the current settings. If I were to go to 5 days a week, this is where it moves them to. So it's a nice visual so that you know, hey, this is how it's going to change my plan for the next block. That's the most important thing. But for us, we're just going to keep it at 6 days. You could change your intensity just like you have before in power building, exactly the same way. So this works exactly the same. So the guidance level for the next block, remember, is full AI, coach me, or manual. We're just going to go straight to manual because it's going to open up everything, and I'll show you the differences between the two. I'll put some screenshots up here as well. So the big difference here is the frequency and the volume is quite different than power building. So the volume, you could set it however you want, how many sets you want. But this is, for me personally, the big game changer here is how many times a week do I want to bench based on the days that I picked in the survey prior, and then on the next block based on what you picked above. I think that's just one of those things I'm just going to have to think about. So currently right now, I have it set in the app as 3 days a week. So I got the main bench, then my secondary, and then my heavy accessory, and you can pick whatever. But let's just say that I just don't have a lot of time. I just want to do 1 day a week. I just click 1 day, and then if I go up here to the top, you could see where it moved it to. So it's on a Saturday. That's where it did move it to. I'm going to come back and I'm going to go, you know what? I want to do a bench heavy type of program. I'm going to click this here, and then I'm going to click my accessory. So now I'm going to be doing bench heavy 5 on those particular dates. And then you say, you know, I'm going to just do a bench program. So I'm going to click on the deadlift because I don't want to do a whole lot of deadlift programming. I'm going to change that to fully manual. And I'm just going to say, you know, I only want to do deadlift once a week because I'm going to do a bench specific program. Same thing here for my squat. I'm going to do a bench specific program. I'm going to go in here and say, you know what? I'm only going to do 1 day a week. And then voila. So you can change your sets for the squat as well as the deadlift to move them down as well. Because remember, when I scroll down here, you could change the deadlift volume, squat volume, as well as the bench volume into here. You could change the periodization, you could change the rep styles as well. And then you could, of course, change, you know, your weaknesses and what type of lift that you're actually doing. But I hope that gives you a great idea of just the flexibility and the freedom within the framework that you have. I think it's a really cool thing that they did. I personally am going to like it because I like deadlifting, but once a week. I'm 47 years old. I like deadlifting, but you know, it's just not my main thing I want to do. I don't mind squats. I'll do a little bit more volume there, and I'll do a little bit more volume on the bench. But this is the other thing too. If I go to the accessories here, remember that the accessories are laid out by the squat or by the week that you're doing for strength. And if you come down here, it's not really super intuitive, but if you hold your finger over one of them and then drag it, you could say, you know what, I do not want the SH, which is shoulders, to be that much on that particular day. You hold it down and then you drag it to the right and we'll take it off of there. So you say, oh man, there's a lot of bench. I'm looking up here and there's a lot of bench volume on this particular day. I'm just gonna come over, drag it, take it off. Come over, drag it, take it off. Just remember this is the beta, so it might move around a little bit and kind of look a little bit odd. But if you say, you know, on this particular day, I want to do something else, you just press the plus, you add the back into here, and then I wanted it to move there, but you might just have to move around. There might be just a couple little things in there, but you get the idea. It's really, really awesome because if you look at your main lifts and what's happening, you know what your main lift volume is going to be, and then you can go in to the accessories and decide what accessories you want to do on those main lift days. So I know that was a lot. I hope I explained it really, really well. So thanks for joining for this one. I'm super excited. I'm going to start using this. I've been playing around with it since last night. Been asking questions to Bryce and Garrett. I really appreciate all the work, and I know that there's some more stuff going down the pipeline. So if you're interested in powerlifting or lifting at all, you want to use a great app, you should definitely use this one because it's a joy to use. It's really nice. It's well laid out. They are continuing the progress on it. And to be quite honest, it is a great, great value. Thanks again for joining me. If you have any questions, please let me know. And subscribe if you haven't. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks again, everyone.